अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। नमो हे परम ब्रह्मा रूपा मेहर। नमो हे परम देव देवा मेहर। नमो हे परम धर्म मूलम मेहर। नमो हे परम ज्ञान शक्ति मेहर। नमो हे पिता मातृभ्राता मेहर। नमो हे सखा स्वामी दाता मेहर। नमो स्फूर्तिदाता विधाता मेहर। नमो आत्म आराध्य देवा मेहर। मिले जीव को शिव तुम्हारी मेहर से। जले धर्म का दीप तुम्हारी मेहर से। बहे प्रेम धारा तुम्हारी मेहर से। रहे स्थिर चराचर तुम्हारी मेहर से। अमर याद सागर हिले ध्रुव तारा। अधर्मों कुकर्मों का बाजे नकारा। मधुसूदना नेह नेहर तुम्हारा कभी भी न टूटे ये नाता हमारा।
जय बाबा। जय बाबा। सुप्रभात की मंगल बेला। सुप्रभात की मंगल बेला। जाग रहा संसार। सुनो प्रेमियों, सुनो सुनो रे, आया है अवतार। सुनो रे, आया है अवतार। सुनो रे, आया है अवतार। सुप्रभात की मंगल बेला। सुप्रभात की मंगल बेला। जाग रहा संसार। सुनो प्रेमियों, सुनो सुनो रे, आया है अवतार। सुनो रे, आया है अवतार। सुनो रे, आया है अवतार। मधुर मधुर नाम मेहर का, अति सुंदर है रूप मेहर का। मधुर मधुर है नाम मेहर का, अति सुंदर है रूप मेहर का। प्रेम स्पर्श से नाश होत सब, प्रेम स्पर्श से नाश होत सब। जन मन के संस्कार। सुनो प्रेमियों, सुनो सुनो रे, आया है अवतार। सुनो रे, आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार। या सागर तल या अवकाश, कण कण में है उसका वास। या सागर अवकाश, कण कण में है उसका वास। भर भीतर सकल चराचर, भर भीतर सकल चराचर, वो ही करुणाधार। सुनो प्रेमियों, सुनो सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार। ना मंदिर में ना मस्जिद में, ना गिरजा नहीं गुरुद्वारा में, ना मंदिर में ना मस्जिद में, ना गिरजा नहीं गुरुद्वारा में, वो है प्रेमी के हृदय में, वो है प्रेमी के हृदय में, जो सुमिरे हर बार। सुनो प्रेमियों, सुनो सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार। शुद्ध प्रेम से उनको ध्यान, मधुसूदन यही दामन गहना। शुद्ध प्रेम से उनको ध्यान, मधुसूदन यही दामन गहना। भव सागर से तर जाने का, भव सागर से तर जाने का, यही सरल उपचार। सुनो प्रेमियों, सुनो सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार। सुप्रभात की मंगल बेला, सुप्रभात की मंगल बेला, जाग रहा संसार। सुनो प्रेमियों, सुनो सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार, सुनो रे आया है अवतार। जय बाबा।
जय मेहर बाबा। मेहर बाबा रे, जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे। मेहर बाबा रे, झूठी दुनिया झूठे बंधन, झूठी है ये माया, झूठी सांस का आना जाना, झूठी है ये काया, यहाँ साचो तेरो नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे, मेहर बाबा रे, रंग में तेरे रंग गई मैं, छोड़ दिया जग सारा, बन गई तेरे प्रेम की जोगन, भटक रही मेरा बाद में, मेरी बाह पकड़ लो मेहर बाबा, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे, मेहर बाबा रे, दर्शन तेरो जिसने पाया, हर चिंता मिट जाए, जीवन मेरा इन चरणों में प्रेम की जोत जलाए, मुझे प्यारो तेरो नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे, मेहर बाबा रे, जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। जय बाबा। कौन છે? मिथिया जग की मिथिया बातें, मिथिया लोग लुगाई, राजा ज्ञानी वीर हुए पर नाम निशानी नाही, अमर मेहर का नाम अमर, अमर प्रेम सहवास, पल पल प्रकटे हृदय में सबके, मिटे मिथिया आभास, तो सब मिलके गाओ, झूम के गाओ, अवतार में हर का नाम, अवतार में हर का नाम, अरे भाई मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, तो सब मिल के गाओ, झूम के गाओ, अवतार में हर का नाम, अवतार में हर का नाम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, जुग जुग ध्यावत ऋषि मुनि ध्यावत, ऋषि मुनि ध्यावत, पहुँचे है सब निज धाम, पहुँचे है सब निज धाम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, मंगल है पावन है नाम मेहर का, नाम मेहर का। शीतल करे सब ताप त्रिविध का, ताप त्रिविध। पग पग दिखावे राह जीवन की, पग पग दिखावे राह जीवन की। दोष मिटावे तमाम, दोष मिटावे तमाम। अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम। मुख में तो सबके आता है मेहर, आता है मेहर। लेकिन हृदय से निकले वो मेहर, निकले वो मेहर। उच्चार आचार और मन का व्यापार, उच्चार आचार और मन का व्यापार। मेहर समाये तमाम, में हर समाये तमाम। अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम। में हर से होवेगी शांति जगत में, शांति जगत में। प्यार की धारा बहेगी जीवन में, बहेगी जीवन में। संसार के सब भेद मिटेंगे, संसार के सब भेद मिटेंगे। मधुसूदन सुख धाम, मधुसूदन सुखदाम। अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम। तो सब मिलके गाओ, झूम के गाओ, अवतार में हर का नाम। अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम, अरे भाई तन मन को होवे आराम। जय बाबा।
जय बाबा। जय बाबा। जपूं तुम्हारा नाम मेहरबा, जपूं तुम्हारा नाम, जपूं तुम्हारा नाम मेहरबा, जपूं तुम्हारा नाम। मेहरबा 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 मेहरबा। जपूं तुम्हारा नाम मेहरबा, जपूं तुम्हारा नाम, जपूं तुम्हारा नाम मेहरबा, जपूं तुम्हारा नाम। मेहरबा 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 मेहरबा। आस बड़ी है तुमसे मिलने, तरपत है मेरे प्राण। आस बड़ी है तुमसे मिलने, तरपत है मेरे प्राण। दीन दया धन प्रेम के सागर बसो मेरे ही आन। दीन दया धन प्रेम के सागर बसो मेरे ही आन, बसो मेरे ही आन। मेहरबा 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 मेहरबा। मन चंचल है शत्रु हमारा, नित करता अभिमान। मन चंचल है शत्रु हमारा, नित करता अभिमान। तुम्हारे मिलन में पर्दा बन कर रहता है नादान। तुम्हारे मिलन में पर्दा बन कर रहता है नादान। मेहरबा 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 मेहरबा। क्या चाहूं मैं तुमसे प्रियवर भाऊं एक अजान, क्या चाहूं
से प्रियवर भाऊ एक हजार,
पाऊं सुख तुम्हारी मर्जी में, चाहूं यही वरदान, पाऊं सुख तुम्हारी मर्जी में, चाहूं यही वरदान, चाहूं यही वरदान। मेहरबान
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 मेहरबान,
जपूं
जपूं
तुम्हारा
तुम्हारा
नाम,
नाम
मेहरबान
मेहरबान,
जपूं
जपूं
तुम्हारा
तुम्हारा
नाम,
नाम, तुम्हारा नाम मेहरबान, जपूं तुम्हारा नाम मेहरबान मेहरबान मेहरबान
मेहरबान
मेहरबान मेहरबान। जय बाबा एवरीबॉडी। जरा जोर से बोलिए, चाय पिया है कि नहीं? हाँ, वेरी गुड। फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट, सब लोग, हमारे पारसी क्राउड को खास करके साल मुबारक, जो अभी नया साल। एंड ऑल्सो वी विश ऑल ऑफ अस थ्रू आउट इंडिया अ वेरी हैप्पी इंडिपेंडेंस डे, बिलेटेड दो। उस पे से मेरे को खाली एक ही ख्याल आया है कि इंडिपेंडेंस की जब बात होती है तो लेट अस बी इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ एवरीथिंग एंड बी डिपेंडेंट ओनली ऑन हिम एंड हिम अलोन। दिस इज व्हाट आई हैड टू से। आज के लिए वी हैव अ वेरी नाइस मूवी of Sam and Roshan Kerawalla. A lot of us may know both of them. Roshan Kerawalla is very well known for her early morning prayers at the Samadhi. जो लोगों ने सुना होगा वो जानते होंगे कि ये जो बाबा ने आई थिंक खौरसेड न्यास के अवस्था में से जो कुछ प्रेयर ली थी, and she used to sing it beautifully at the Samadhi. As far as Sam Kerawalla is concerned, I I know, or rather I knew because he's passed over, him quite well. और उनके लिए इतना ही कहना है कि he was one of the greatest storytellers I have ever come across. खास करके सूफी स्टोरीज जो है बाबा की, वो उतनी अच्छी तरह से he would narrate a सूफी स्टोरी, और उसमें फिर बाबा का भी वेरी नाइसली वो उसमें ढल जाते थे। आई हैव हैड वेरी नाइस मोमेंट्स विथ हिम। एक समय वो जब मेरे घर आए थे के लिए, तो सुबह जब नहाने की बात आई तो वी वर ऑल इन अ हरी टू कम आउट एंड come to the center or wherever, but he was taking his own sweet time shaving. वो खड़े रह के आरसी के सामने खड़े रह के इधर से इधर, इधर से इधर, ऐसा इधर ऐसा उधर, he seemed to be taking a very long time, which prompted me to tell him कि Sam Baba, hurry up, बस जल्दी जल्दी करी ना, why are you doing all this? He told me something very profound. He said कि मेरे बचपन से ये मेरी आदत है. My mother, Sam Kerawalla's mother, had taught him कि बाबा को जब भी मिलने जाओ तो शेव बिल्कुल अच्छी तरह से करके जाना, because you never know when he wants to caress your cheeks. और उस समय उनके हाथ में लगना नहीं चाहिए. I've never forgotten that. I've never forgotten that. समझायो कि नहीं? Okay. अभी एक दूसरी चीज जो मैं कहना चाहता हूं, इट्स अ फनी थिंग, but it is not to ridicule him. It's just a funny incident that had happened. Sam Kerawalla loved dogs. उनको कुत्तों से बहुत प्रेम था. तो उनका एक कुत्ता पुणे में गुजर गया, passed away. So his daughter had brought the body to मेहराबाद के, वहां उनके जो जमीन में दफन करना है. तो पहुंचते पहुंचते उसको शाम हो गई. So they didn't want to do the so-called funeral in the evening. तो उन लोग ने सोचा कि चलो कल सुबह जब अच्छी तरह से धूप निकले तब हम करेंगे. तब बॉडी को रखना कैसे? So they decided to keep that dead dog in the fridge, ताकि उसका वो खराब नहीं होए. अब क्या हुआ कि उनके घर में एक वेस्टर्न लेडी, एन अमेरिकन लेडी रहती थी उस समय. तो वो बेचारी रात को उठ के ठंडा पानी पीने के लिए उसने फ्रिज खोला और उसने अंदर वो कुत्ते को देखा. तो शी जस्ट येल्ड, सैम सैम, देयर इज अ डॉग इन द फ्रिज, डॉग इन. तो सैम केरावाला आराम से कहते हैं, नम्मा मम्मा कहीं नहीं, वो विल बी गॉन टुमारो. मुझे ये याद रह गया. Such were his simple ways, such was his love for Baba. और इनकी ये जो आदत थी, ये सूफी स्टोरीज. There's some music playing somewhere in the background. Oh, I thought you were singing. अच्छा. तो उनकी ये जो सूफी स्टोरीज की आदत जो हुई, that was through his job. He was a radio officer on the ship. और उनको जब भी स्पेयर टाइम मिलता था तो वो बैठ के ये सब सूफी किताबें पढ़ते थे और उनकी कहानियां उनको बहुत अच्छी तरह से याद रह जाती थी, विच ही वुड नरेट टू अस. आज जो फिल्म देखने जा रहे हैं, इट वाज रिकॉर्डेड इन 2007 at the MPR and MPC rather, sorry. और दोनों हस्बैंड वाइफ अपनी अपनी बातें रखेंगे, which is very very interesting. And I hope कि all of you enjoy it, because if you don't, तो फ्रिज में से कुत्ता निकलेगा आज रात को. जय बाबा. I repeat again, it was not meant to run him down at all. In fact, I have the utmost love and respect for the man. Jai Baba.
I have stayed in Ahmednagar from 1942 because my mother passed away very young, and we all came to stay in Ahmednagar in our grandfather's house, which was called Akbar Press. Baba used to come very often. Actually, Baba came to our house from 1923. Beloved Baba met my father and my uncles and aunts in 1923. They came to know that there is a Parsi sadhu come to Arangaon, and they came and met Baba here. And after that, Baba just came to our house. My grandfather was sitting on the veranda. Usually in Parsi religion, when people get old, the only thing they do, old people, is sit on the veranda and read the prayer book whole day long, because we have different prayers for different times of the day. And each day has a different name. Each month has a different name. And so anyway, that's not a big thing. But my grandfather was sitting on veranda reading the prayer book. And when he saw beloved Baba walking in through the iron gate, where there were two beautiful, beautiful gardens on either side of the path, and Baba was wearing white sadra and long pajamas and open hair, and he looked really gorgeous. Baba was very, very gorgeous. His skin complexion was very shiny and lovely. And my grandfather, looking at Baba, he saw that Lord Zoroaster was coming through the gate towards him. And Baba walked right up to the grandfather who was sitting on veranda, and he started clapping. When we pray, we do not speak. So he started clapping, and all the children got there to find out why grandfather is clapping. And then he told children that here is Lord Zoroaster. And after that, Baba was one of the family members, and he just started coming to the house. That was very long ago, before I was born, because my father wasn't yet married. And when I came in 1942, maybe little later than 42, beloved Baba used to come to our house, and he would even have his lunch sometimes. So when he used to come from outside, the first thing he would do is wash his hands. And previously we did not have a dining table in the house, no chairs. We used to sit on the mats in the kitchen and eat our food. And very simple life. Baba would walk into the kitchen, open the big pots, because we had a huge family, you see, and had tin plates and mugs to use for the daily life. But anyway, when my uncle, eldest uncle, came from Shanghai, he had become little richer than anybody in the family. So, and he got into the habit of sitting on table and having his lunch, dinner, and little glass bowls for serving and plate and all that. He had become little modern. So Baba came, and that was the first time when we had all those luxuries in the house. And Baba went to the basin to wash his hand. And being Ahmednagar a drought place, though we had a basin with a tap, there was no water. And Baba, there was a bucket on the window from which we would pour the water on our hands to wash. And I was pouring the water on Baba's hand, but I was very little, you see, 5 years maybe. So my mind was away from attention of pouring the water. And I kept pouring, and Baba held my hand. Where are you? I said, Baba, I'm right in front of you. Where am I? Here I am. So, no, where is your head? I said, I'm sorry, Baba. And then Baba took the soap from the dish, rubbed his hands, and Baba said, keep attention for what you are doing. So I said, yes, Baba, forgive me. And when I finished washing Baba's hand, I was very eager to go in the kitchen and bring those nice dishes and nice plates and glass for beloved Baba to have his food. So anyway, I finished And I was about to go to the kitchen when Baba caught my hand and he said, "Do you know how much trouble I have to go through to make this water?" I said, "I don't know, Baba. You know, I have to heat up 7 seas and take the water into the sky and make them into the clouds. And then the rivers, the well. I have a lot of work to do to give you this water. It doesn't just come like that. So you have to be very, very careful with water." And I said, "Yes, Baba. And use the water as much as you need, but do not waste it ever." So I tell this story wherever I go because I see in the foreign countries people are very free with the water. When they are applying soap, the tap is on and the water is drained out. So I tell special this story that Baba said, we have to be very careful with the water, very careful. He said, "I have given you all this, and then I have to not finish there making clouds, but then I have to push the clouds from one place to another and just bring them down where the water is needed." I said, "Oh, yes, Baba." I was very serious about it. And then I went and got the food and Baba had a nice meal and then went back. I don't know whether he came to Mehrabad or he went to the trust office to see Adi Senior, that we don't know. But Baba was very happy whenever he came to our house. I'm very fortunate that I have played with Baba, the marbles, gilli danda, flew the kites, because one of my brother who had polio could not play any other game except flying the kite. One day when he was flying the kite in the compound, we used to make our own kite in the house. And I was holding the rim of that thread and Baba's car rolled in. Instead of going into the house, Baba came walking towards my brother. He used to always sit on the floor and Baba petted him on his head and then he said, "Give me the thread and I would like to fly the kite." So my brother handed over the thread of the kite to Baba's hand and I was holding the rim. And Baba said, "Let go." So I was holding it loose so that the kite can take as much as thread the kite needs. But unfortunately or fortunately, we had not tied the thread tight to the rim. So it just went on and on and on, and it became so small in the sky we could hardly see the kite. And eventually the thread was all over and the kite and the thread flew away, and Baba was so happy that it was gone. And then he's looking at my brother and said, "Shall I send you more kite and thread?" So my brother says, "No, Baba, we have another rim and the thread." And Baba was very happy about letting go that kite. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Now here's Sam.
Jai Baba, everybody. Jai Baba. As usual, let us begin this talk with the beautiful words of Jalaluddin Rumi. It is only till such time that ignorance prevails one has recourse to words. When true knowledge dawns, there is total silence. Words have absolutely no meaning on the path. Actually, great masters have considered it as a waste of time. A man approached Abu Said, another great Sufi master, and he told him that, "Oh, you who are the light of the two worlds, teach me something that can help me walk the path. And Abu Said was a very hot-tempered master. And he says, you bloody fool, as it is, the human life is a very short span. Why are you wasting your time and mine? The only advice I give you is, go home and keep remembering him. Keep remembering him. That is the main thing. My brother Michael wanted to know something about the great Australian poet Francis Brabazon, who was one of beloved Baba's Mandi for a very long time. In the year 1950, I began my sea career as a wireless operator on Merchant Navy. And after that, my link with my beloved was only for the duration of the leave that I would get. In those days, contracts were very, very long contracts. As a matter of fact, my sea career also began by the grace of my beloved. In India, our education is divided into certain sections: high school, and then 2 years of college, first year and intermediate. And it is in these 2 years that you have to score the best marks so that you can get admitted to the contracts. As a matter of fact, my sea career also began by the grace of my beloved. In India, our education is divided into certain sections: high school, and then 2 years of college, first year and intermediate. And it is in these 2 years that you have to score the best marks so that you can get admitted to the university for your further career, like law, medicine, whatever. Unfortunately, I became friendly with a group of Indians who were very, very rich. And I wasted my time there, and I failed in InterScience. And then beloved Baba called me to Nagar, and he said to me, well, what has happened? Instead of telling him what had really happened, like a bloody fool, I blurted out that I have lost confidence in myself. And beloved Baba said to me that business is not in your destiny. Otherwise, I would have financed you to start a toy shop. Now, whether he was pulling my legs or what, I do not know. Anyway, he said, electronics is the up and coming line. Go to Bombay, go to St. Xavier's College in Bombay. It's an education institute run by the Roman Catholic Fathers. And they had recently started a special department for electronics. I got the prospectus from them and came back to Ahmednagar. And beloved Baba told me that, look, I normally don't touch the pen, but for your sake I'm doing it. And he marked 3 subjects, radio engineering, radio servicing and wireless telegraphy. And he said, now don't fool around, get through your exams and leave the rest to me. And by the grace of my beloved, in April of 1950, I got my license to operate a wireless station on board a ship or on an aircraft. And December of 1950, I got a call from a British company. And now, the grace of my beloved began. The letter of appointment they sent me was that the British operator had gone home on leave, and that they will appoint me only for 6 months, and then I'll have to come back. Because every shipping company I approached, they would tell me, you don't have any experience, so we can't employ you. But unless and until they'll permit me to board a ship, I can't get the experience. And I decided 6 months is more than enough. Anyway, when I approached the company, one Captain Dwyer, an Irishman, he took my interview, and he said, everything is all right, Mr. Kerawalla, but there is a bit of a problem. Now, I had lost my father a long time back, and coming from a low middle-class family, we needed the money very badly. So I was a bit worried as to what the problem is. But then his game began. And he said to me, the British operator is not coming. Would you like to work for the company on a permanent basis? And that is exactly what I wanted. I said, I don't mind. And then he said, what length of contract would you like? I said, whatever company says is acceptable to me. And Captain Dwyer told me that we'll sign a contract for 3 years, but after 2 years you feel homesick, come to me and I'll send you home on leave. Actually, I worked for more than 3 years because we needed the money. Then he says to me, show me your appointment letter. And in that letter, they had offered me 35 pounds. Now, 35 pounds in 1950 was good money because people working ashore in England, they were getting about maximum 6 to 8 pounds a week. And 35 pounds a month was not bad. But again, he had begun his play. And Captain Dwyer tells me, no, this is not right. The Maritime Union of England has increased the wages, and you will begin with 40 pounds a month. And that's, even without having seen my ship, I get the increment like that. What I'm trying to convey is that this job was entirely thanks to my beloved. And then I worked for that British company for more than 13 years. And the crew were Arabic, and the officers were all Britishers. So, because I was spent my time 13 years with them, a stage came when I could speak Arabic very, very fluently. Not only in Arabic also there are different variations, minor variations. Certain parts of Arabia are very crude and their Arabic is a bit on the rough side. Places like Bahrain, Kuwait, Beirut, their Arabic is much more refined. So I could now even gauge what particular type of Arabic language I should speak. So this is all about. Now we come to our brother Francis. I was once home on leave at that time, and beloved Baba was in Guru Prasad. And beloved Baba had given Francis the order that each night he should compose a ghazal in English, and then next morning he should read it before beloved Baba. And those days when I was present at Guru Prasad, let me tell you, they were very beautiful ghazals. Francis Brabazon was a real great poet. It is a pity that he has not been recognized so far by the world, but he was really a very great man. As Brother Erich once mentioned to me, Francis Brabazon had such a great command on in the English language that he could break or make a man only through words, like that. And this particular day, he had composed a ghazal and read it before beloved Baba. And beloved Baba, in his way, we were all sitting there, and Baba said, listen carefully, very beautiful. And we all politely nodded our head. And Baba told Francis, read it again. And Francis read it again. And Baba again turned to all of us and said, beautiful. No denying the fact that he is the Hafiz of my time. Then he says, read it again. And like that, he made Francis read the ghazal 7 times. By that time, Francis, who had a very short fuse, blew up. And he said, what's wrong? Why do you want me to read this ghazal 7 times? Very angry, you know. I mean, I was a bit nervous that man talking like that before the very Lord, like. But beloved Baba was absolutely calm like an ocean. And he says to Francis, in his beautiful sense of humor, well, if you don't repeat it 7 times, how the hell do you expect me to remember it when I come back after 7 years, 700 years? And we all burst out laughing like that. So that is one of the incidences I remember with Francis, like that. There was another incident. This was before I started my sea career. As a young boy, I was still studying. And beloved Baba came to Bindra house, my brother Erachi's house, and I was there. And Baba asked me, what are your future plans in education and all that? Somehow or other, my mother always felt that she must poke her nose as and when she felt like it. So before I could even answer it, she said to Baba, all the time he's reading detective novels and things like that, and he wants to be a cat burglar. Now look, this is the reaction of a human being. But how did God react to that? He said, wonderful. But he put a break to that. And he says, if you can catch my middle finger, then go ahead and become a cat burglar. If you don't, then give up the idea. Of course, I couldn't catch it, and I had to give up the idea. But many times I would think to myself, God forbid if I had really caught that middle finger, I would have been one cat burglar that no police could ever catch, because I took up that job on the orders of God.
How did he move his middle finger? How did he move his middle finger so you couldn't catch it?
No, I mean, I don't know, but he used to do something like this. Cover his one hand like that, you know. And now you have to find out which is his middle finger and catch it. And when he opened his hand, it was the index finger, like that. Now coming to this talk about thieves and all that, looks like our Lord in every advent had a soft corner for these people. And during the time of Lord Buddha, there was a Brahmin, very highly educated Brahmin, and extremely noble, very beautiful character. He was a Brahmin in the true sense of the term, not like the priest class who are there only to make money from their profession. But unfortunately, being a very straightforward man, no one approached him. And all the time, there was possibly could. but I don't earn anything. And there are days when my family and I, we are literally starving. And Lord Buddha says, well, if you cannot earn your living in an honest manner, then the only other alternative is to earn it dishonestly. And the Brahmin was, what? Well, go ahead, don't worry. And he says, now you can become a cat burglar, but there are certain restrictions. Do not rob anyone who is poor. Do not rob any house or any family where meanness prevails. Only rob those houses where wealth flourishes like anything. So when given the permission, the very next night he started his profession. And he came to Jai Baba Ma. He came to a house of a poor man, and the mother is telling the children, please go to sleep tonight. I have nothing to offer you. And he remembered the words of the Lord. Do not rob anyone who is very poor. Then he went to another house, a little further away, which was bigger and more aristocratic looking and all. And he felt this is the right place to rob. But even as he was trying to enter, the head of the house was shouting at his wife and saying, I'm checking up the accounts today, and I find that there are 10 rupees missing. Where did the 10 rupees go to? You know, shouting and all that. And he remembered the orders of Lord Buddha. Do not rob from a house where their meanness prevails. And then he decided, why not go straight to the palace of the king? The Lord has given me the permission. Now, the king's name was Bhoj, King Bhoj. And King Bhoj himself was a very spiritual-minded, very noble man. And he a very highly intelligent king, and he had composed the quatrain. Behold my beautiful palace, behold the great wealth I own, behold my beautiful queen, behold the might of my army. And he had composed 3 lines of that quatrain, but the 4th line he could not complete. So he entered the palace of the king and managed to go right up to the very bedroom of the king. Now the king had discarded his dress and all, you know, dress studded with diamonds and rubies, and it was lying helter-skelter in his bedroom. And he approached thinking of picking up something and then going away. But even as he approached there, he saw on the table this piece of paper with the lines, my palace, my queen, my wealth, my army. But the last line was not complete. But this Brahmin was a very learned man and very spiritual-minded. And he completed the line by saying, O king, the day you die, all this will have no meaning. And he left. He didn't touch anything. And the king got up in the morning and he looked around and he felt that someone had entered his bedroom. And sure enough, when his eyes fell on that paper, he saw the last line was completed. That, O king, when the angel of death takes you away, all this will have no meaning. He went to the court and made an announcement in the country that one who entered my bedroom last night must come to my palace today. And I promise him that no action will be taken against him. So when the Brahmin heard that, he went there. And the king asked him, you were the one who entered? He said, yes. And you completed the quatrain? He said, yes, I did. And the king asked him, such a learned and wise man, why are you doing this thing? And he narrated the whole incident, that I approached Lord Buddha and he gave me advice that I should start earning my money in a dishonest manner. So I decided that why not start my career right in the palace of the king? And the king said to him, okay, fair enough. Now I will appoint you as one of my ministers and I'll pay you regularly, so you need not do a thing like that. The idea was that apparently the Lord misguided him. After all, stealing and robbing is a wrong thing. But that was not the... Lord Buddha knew. He had arranged everything in such a manner that he knew that eventually the man will come to the right path on his own, like that. This is how God works in his creation. And one day, the same King Bhoj had a thought in his mind that all this that I'm enjoying, it must be based on something very noble that I had done in my past life. So he called his wise man and said, can you find out what I had done in my last life that I'm enjoying the fruits of this all this today? And they said, Lord, we cannot do that. But there is one man, Siddhartha Gautam Buddha, and people consider him to be the wisest of the wise, the emperor of the emperors. He will help you. And Lord Buddha said, then bring him to my palace. And the Grand Vizier told him, no king, that cannot be. You are merely a king, but he is the emperor of the emperors. So you will have to go there. And he went again. Now he had already heard about Gautam Buddha from that Brahmin. And he approached him, and Lord Buddha smiled and says, what can I do for you? And he says, Lord, I have this question to ask. And he says, yeah. What was this very noble act that performed in my last birth that I'm enjoying the fruits of it today? And Lord Buddha smiled and put his hand on his head, and the whole scene changed. And he was now in his past life. There, he had lost his mother and father at a young age. And he, his brother and his sister were the only three left. And they managed to eke out a small living like. But a time came when a very drastic famine struck the place. And for days on end, people were starving and dying. One fine day, this man managed to get 6 chapatis, unleavened bread. And he gave 2 to his sister, 2 to his brother, and 2 he kept for himself. Just at that very moment, a fakir, a one who has renounced the world, came to the door, and he said, I'm very hungry, kindly feed me. The sister of this man abused him, shouted at him, and told him, get the hell out of here. Because they themselves had been starving for a long time. And because he did not leave, she took up a broom and charged on him and struck him with the broom. He then turned to the brother and he said, give me something to eat, I'm very hungry. And the brother made a very vulgar gesture of opening his lungi, very filthy thing to do, and nothing. And the last brother, he approached him and he gave him 1 chapati. And he saw that this man was still very hungry. Though he himself was very hungry, he gave him the 2nd chapati also. He ate it, and that fakir was a very advanced soul. And he raised his hands to God and he said, only an emperor of emperors could have a heart so big as that. And then the whole scene changed. And Lord Gautam Buddha now tells King Bhoj, your sister today is in your own kingdom, and she is a municipal road sweeper because she had taken that broom. Your brother, who had behaved very vulgarly by showing him his private path, he has become a madman in your kingdom, and he roams about naked in your kingdom. You, because that fakir raised his hand and said, only an emperor of emperors or a man with a very big heart could do an act of charity like that. Because of his blessings, oh King Bhoj, you are enjoying the fruits of that act. Now you know why you are enjoying it. This is the way, they show us the things. The whole idea behind the great masters is not that they want to beat the tom-tom or to show, oh, I'm a great master. No. They come here exclusively to teach the likes of us. That is the only purpose they come. And that is why great poets have said that I came before you covered with sin from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. But you never exposed my sins to another human being. You put a curtain on it. You embraced me and welcomed me completely. And that very act of love and accepting me with all the filth and shit that is in me, that was more than enough to make me your slave for the rest of my life. This is the way God does it, like that. A certain man, I will not name him, he was working in the Indian Railways and in the cargo section. And he and 2 or 3 of his co-workers, they were pilfering the cargo and selling it and all. So for quite some time things went on very smoothly, but eventually the police nabbed them. And they were not imprisoned, but the matter was brought before the court. The one amongst them was a Baba lover. So he came running from South India to Merazad. And he tells, Baba said, what is it? Why are you so afraid and panicky? And he explained the whole situation. Now, God gave him a chance. And he says to this man, you didn't do that. You know, he should realize that he's standing right before God. And he should have spoken the truth. Then the whole thing would have changed. But he said, no, I have not done anything like that. Again, God gave him a chance. You didn't do that? No. Third time, beloved Baba asked him, you didn't pinch the cargo, didn't steal it? No, Baba. Then Baba said to him, then why are you frightened? Go home, don't worry, truth will prevail. That was the only statement beloved Baba made. Truth will prevail. He knows that he had done it. So that is why he said, truth will prevail. And he left. And soon after the matter came to court, and all the three of them were sentenced to about 3 or 4 years rigorous imprisonment. And look at the love and compassion of the Lord. He wrote to his lovers in that particular part of India, saying that so-and-so is now imprisoned. His family will be ordered to vacate the government quarters. So try and make provisions for their stay. They will have no money. So make sure you provide for their food and lodging and all that. And third, the children should not miss their schooling. So make sure that you pay the school fees and all. And like that, his whole family was taken care of. And from the prison, he sent a letter to Baba, thanking beloved Baba for all the love and care and attention that was being showered on him. But on the other side of the picture, my brother Erech, he is sitting there all the time wondering. He is sitting right before Baba and wondering. Here is a man who says, I am God in human form. His own lover came running off so far off distance as South India and begged for his help. And he said, don't worry, truth will prevail, nothing will happen. And here this man is in prison for 5 years. What sort of a God is he? These thoughts were continuously playing in Erech's mind. And in 1960, that East-West gathering was 1962. In 1962, beloved Baba held that East and West gathering. For the first time, East and West met at the lotus feet of the Lords. And Erech, of course, is there on the stage with beloved Baba. And a long queue was there. And this man, who was just released from the prison, was in the queue. And the doctors that suggested that the stage should be so high that people taking darshan of beloved Baba should not put their weight on his feet because of the 2 car accidents. The feet were damaged. 2 or 1, 2 accidents. Yeah, 2. So when this man came over and he bowed down to beloved Baba, not because of that man, but because of that continuous thought that was there in Erech's mind, Baba gestured to 2 of them, pick him up and bring him before me. And there are nearly 25 to 30,000 people are sitting in that pandal, all Baba lovers. If he wanted, he could have immediately exposed that man on the public address system, that this is what had happened. But he does not come here to expose your weaknesses or your faults. He always puts a cover on it. So before 25, 30,000 people who are present there, no one is aware of what is going on. But beloved Baba, that man and Erech. And Baba said to him, 5 years of rigorous imprisonment. Yes, Baba. Now we are free. Yes. Now tell me the truth. What happened? And like a bloody fool, now he says, I was the greatest culprit. I had robbed the maximum cargo possible. And Baba told him, remember what I told you? Truth will prevail. And then Erech realized what had happened. And then not only did he realize that, but he realized also how loving and careful is he, that knowing all this, he had made arrangements that his family should be taken care of. And this is God. This is how it is done. It is a very pleasant November day in Jerusalem. And a divinely beautiful man was sitting on a mound of earth. And he was lost in his reverie. And a woman was bowing at his feet and gazing at him. And she was saying to herself in her heart, who is this man? Is he a human being? Is he a Satan, or is he God in human form? And every fiber of her being cried out, once in a million years, the creature has the great good fortune to be present before the Creator. Today is your day. If you have enough courage, take that opportunity, don't lose it. And with tears flowing down her eyes, she bowed at his lotus feet and washed his feet with her tears. And that divinely beautiful man shook himself from his reverie, and he looked around, and he says to the woman, "Woman, has no one condemned thee?" And she said, "No, no one, Master. Neither do I. Go, sin no more." The divine authority of God. And that man was none other but our Lord Jesus. Go, sin no more.
And the woman was who, Sam?
Uh-huh.
And the woman was who?
What?
Who was the woman? Is she
Woman,
known?
you can call her Jane. I do not know her. I don't know.
Jane.
There are many such incidences of his love and compassion. Like we have this village Arankau over here, about 1 kilometer away at Merazad. You all have been to Merazad? About 1 kilometer away, there is a village called Pimpalgaon. And an elderly lady, a village woman. Now remember one thing, our Indian village ladies, and they're not educated. Say out of 1,000, maybe 1 or 2 might have attended a school or entered a classroom. Majority do not even know what a school is. One such woman came to Merazad, and beloved Baba's sister was there, and she tells beloved Baba's sister Mani that I'm getting old and frail. My health is giving way. All I want is to have the darshan of my beloved. And Mani says to that old woman, I'm very sorry, but beloved Baba is in seclusion and he's not giving darshan to anyone. And the woman pleaded and said, do not want to ask any questions. I have no interest at all. All I want is that before I leave this world, I should have the darshan of my Lord. And Mani said, I'm very sorry. So disappointed, she was about to leave when Mani remembered that each morning, beloved Baba was carried from his bedroom to the Mandli hall, where that chair is, and hold his darbar, his court. And she says to that woman, tomorrow we will be here by 7:30, 7:45. And Mehr Baba will be carried from his bedroom to the Mandli hall. You can have his darshan at that time. And woman said, that is all I want. I want nothing more from my beloved. Just one look at him. And she was present there at 7:30 next morning. And about 7:45, 4 people carried beloved Baba in that chair. That chair is still there in the Mandli hall with that long arms to it. But as he was brought out, Mani saw that beloved Baba had completely covered his face with a bath towel. And she is saying to herself in her heart, I call this old woman for darshan. What darshan will she have? Baba has completely covered his face with a bath towel. But because her yearning was genuine, because the desire to have the darshan of the Lord before she departed was so powerful, so forceful, that when beloved Baba was hardly about 3 feet away from that woman, he completely removed his towel, looked at her, and went in, and finished. The joy of that woman was complete. And then about 2 or 3 months later, we heard the news that she had departed, like that. The different ways in which God works in his creation. Yes. This is another incident where the love and compassion of God is not only directed to the human beings, but to the very least of his creation. And here we have to remember the words of Lord Jesus. That which you have done unto the very least of my creation, know that you have done unto me. Beloved Baba was somewhere in central India, and because he was going to stay there for a long time, they had rented a bungalow. The ladies, man Mandli would be segregated. They would be, staying in the outhouses of that bungalow. And beloved Baba's darbar, dinner would be at very early hour. As soon as the twilight began, about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. About 5 o'clock. The dinner was also very simple, very crisp wheat chapati and green salad. So after that, Baba and they would all sit there and chit-chat, a casual conversation. And as they were sitting, a gecko, chick, went up the wall and ceiling and dropped a bit of dirt on beloved Baba's head. Beloved Baba's cousin and disciple Naja saw this, and she remembered that gecko because that gecko was real big one, nearly 12 inches long, from tip of the mouth till that end of the tail. And normally Baba had one habit that alongside that small table, there would be a stack of handkerchiefs. Baba would use the handkerchief only once and then discard it. Discard it means get it washed. So he picked up a handkerchief, cleaned it, and the conversation flowed very smoothly. Next evening, again the same thing happened. Chick, went up and again dropped a bit of shit on beloved Baba's head. Baba picked up a handkerchief, cleaned it and discarded it. Third night it happened, and Naja decided that now I will kill this bloody gecko. Each night she dirties my beloved's head like that. So on the fourth day, she was fully prepared with a very long handled broom. And sure enough it came. And as soon as it came, Naja caught hold of that broom and charged. And the Lord, acting as if he had not seen that broom at all, he said, "What's going on? Has she gone mad? What is she doing?" And Naja said, "Baba, for the last 3 nights, this bloody thing is dropping shit on your head. And I want to kill it." And Baba said, "Why? Didn't you see that I pick up a handkerchief and clean myself and there ends the matter? Why kill it?" "No, Baba, this is not good. Why should it be stay lying?" And Baba said, "Now, shut up and sit down. Keep quiet, sit down now." And told her never to harm anything like that. Never ever. And she sat down, again that divine humor, looking at Mera, Mani and his, ladies, I mean real big ones, the aristocrat of his Kadarba. And he looked at them and he says to them, "Know one thing, this gecko is less pain in my neck than you all put together." On one occasion in Pune, Guru Prasad, Baba would be staying at Guru Prasad, and the Guru Prasad was a palace of one Maharani of Baroda. Maharani means a minor queen, something like, in England you had the lords and ladies with a vast acreage of land, a palatial abode, things like that. And it had a beautiful approach, lovely garden all around, and beautiful statues there. And one of the statues, a female form, was holding a tray, big tray like that, and that tray was always full of water for the birds to drink that water. One afternoon, beloved Baba was sitting on the veranda of that palace, and his sister Mani was there. And casually Baba says to Mani, "Mani, is there water in that tray for the birds to drink?" Now, normally the water is always there. So Mani, feeling that the water is always there, just said to Baba, "Of course, Baba, water is there." About 15-20 minutes later, Baba said, "Mani, are you sure the water is there in that tray?" "Yes, Baba, water is there." Oh. Another 15-20 minutes and Baba said, "Mani, are you sure that water is there?" Now Mani became a bit alert. Something is wrong someplace. She went over to the statue and there was not a drop of water in it. So Mani got that whole tray full of water and she came back. And Baba smiled and said, "Without checking up, you even dare to bluff before God himself?" It's a bad cough and cold. Beloved Baba in his book God Speaks has given us a discourse on the subject of the everything and the nothing. And I have read it. Many of you must have also read that book. And it's a beautiful discourse, no denying it. But one thing the Sufis had realized, that to impart the infinite truth of God's relationship, the best method is by parables and stories. That is why great masters, Jesus, Buddha, beloved Baba, Muhammad, all of them, they would follow this habit of imparting truth to us in a form of a story, which always grabs the attention of human beings. So, what was I talking about?
God speaks everything and the nothing.
Everything and the nothing, yeah. So, there is a very beautiful parable by Jalaluddin Rumi. And that parable, in a very sweet and beautiful manner, teaches us the real meaning of the word everything and the nothing. During the time of the Persian Empire, there was a king by the name of Faridun. Not only was he a great conqueror and an administrator, but he was a real good king, very noble and all that. And he had taken the borders of the Persian Empire to all the known areas of the world. And every time when he came back after a victorious battle, a huge banquet would be held in his honor. And the dignitaries from all his kingdom, beautiful ladies very beautifully dressed, men beautifully dressed, they were all there present there. And in his own lifetime, Faridun was addressed as Faridun the Great, none greater than him. On one such occasion, when the banquet hall was all ready, full of beautiful ladies dressed in very beautiful clothes and men and all, but Faridun had not yet come into the banquet hall. So they were all waiting for the emperor to come. In the meantime, a very strange looking man, very simply dressed, entered the banquet hall. But so overpowering was his personality that no one could stop him. And he went and occupied the seat meant for the emperor. Now the Grand Wazir began to wonder, what should I do about it? He is occupying the chair of Faridun. If he deserves it, well and good. Otherwise, after all, he is a king. If he goes angry, he might even cut off my head. So now he approaches this man to find out who he is. And he says to that man, excuse me, sir, are you a governor of some place? And the man did not look at the Grand Wazir. And he says, no, I'm above that. And the Grand Wazir says, then maybe you are a king of a kingdom. Still he did not bother to look at the Grand Wazir, and he said, no, I'm above that too. And maybe you are a king of a couple of kingdoms. And he said, no, I'm above that too. And the Grand Wazir could not understand what's going on now. And every time he just gave the same answer, I'm above that too. And suddenly it dawned on the Grand Wazir that maybe he's talking to an idiot. So more, out of making a mockery of that man, he says to him, maybe you're a prophet then. And he says, no, I'm above that too. And the Grand Wazir was now convinced that he is an idiot. So ironically he says to him, maybe you're God. And he says, no, I'm above that too. And now the Grand Wazir was convinced that he is an idiot. And he shouted at him and he says to him, you bloody fool, there is nothing above God. And now that man looked at the Grand Wazir and he says, Grand Wazir, now you know who I am. I am that nothing which is above God. How beautifully it is done, how beautifully. I am that nothing which is above God. Yes. These are the things that used to appeal to me, the method of the teaching. Yeah. Everything very, very simple, very simple. One day Abu Said was asked this question, how should one approach God? What is the right method in approaching God? And Abu Said said, when the time comes, I'll give you the answer. Relax. And one Friday, he told his disciples, come on, let's go for a walk. And his ashram was very close to the river bank. And he took them to the bank of the river, and there, Abu Said is now talking to the river. And he's saying to the river, oh river, innumerable are the blessings that you have showered on God's creation. God's creation drinks your water and satisfies that thirst. It is your water which we use for our agriculture. The energy of your flowing water is we use for our industries. Innumerable are the blessings that you have showered on me, on God's creation. I have not enough words even to thank you. And now the river is answering. Actually, river is not answering, but Abu Said himself is speaking as if the river is answering. And Abu Said continues as if the river is speaking. And the river says, Abu Said, I do not know what the hell you are talking about. I never knew that I was such a great blessing of God to his creation. I never knew that my water is being used for quenching your thirst. I never knew that my water is used for your agricultural purposes. I never knew that the energy of my flowing water is used for your industries. I know nothing about it. All I know is that I flow very fast and swift with the one purpose only, to reach the ocean, merge in the ocean and become one with it. And then Abu Said turned to his disciple and he said to them, this is the only way one can approach God. One continuous, fixed one thought in the mind to reach the beloved, that is all. That is how we explain to them how one should approach God. On one occasion, Swami Vivekananda, after completing his talk, he said, if any words of wisdom have come from these lips, they all belong to my master. Only the mistakes are mine. With that word, I close now. Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Oh. Why too often?
Oh, okay, well this one. Sam, we need the microphone because of the double meaning for everything you say.
Electricity board, the electricity, and in Pune there's a movie house called A New Empire. Actually, it was made mostly for the British and the Australian troops that were there in Pune. No sense of acoustics, nothing at all over there. Just a tin shed and all. But Laurel and Hardy was playing there, and beloved Baba loved them, and Charles Chaplin. So Baba said, come on Sam, take us all to the movie. So we all went there for seeing the movie. And as I said, just a tin shed, and we occupied the last two rows, about 26-30 of them. The two rows we completely occupied. And it so happened that I was sitting right behind beloved Baba and Airaj. And then the movie began. And you know how Laurel and Hardy is. A child of 6 to one as old as 96 gets engrossed in it and loves to keep watching it. And we are really enjoying it when suddenly I saw beloved Baba give a nudge to Airaj. It so happened that Airaj too was enjoying the movie. So Airaj half-heartedly gets up. Baba, another 5 minutes and the movie will be over. Baba looked at Airaj and said, is that so? And he made a gesture like that, sit down. Now whether that was the command of God or the bloody Maharashtra State Electricity Board, the electricity failed.
Wow.
And I'm sitting right behind my beloved and abusing MSEB in very vulgar manner. Then about 2 or 3 minutes passed and beloved Baba gave a nudge to Airaj and he said, want to sit or shall we go? By that time Airaj knew beloved Baba's method of working. He said, come on, let us go.
Can you narrate some of your talks with Baba? One of the talks that Baba had with you. Can you tell us?
Did you hear her?
Oh, I mean, on one occasion, at Guru Prasad. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon. And suddenly his eyes fell on me. And he says to me, Sam, you are working on a ship and you go, high up in the northern latitudes, very high up and all. I said, yes, Baba, we go very high up. And Baba said, snow, sleet, very cold and all. I said, yes, Baba, it is. And then he says to me, have a little alcohol. Now, if a stranger was present there, he would start thinking, what sort of a God is he? He's teaching this young man to drink? But no. From that time onwards, have a little became my limit. So if any time I was invited to a party or a drink, what I would do is I would take that little alcohol and keep topping up my glass with soda water, so that no one would say your glass is empty, go and have another one, like that. But it was not a case of come on now that you've begun, there is no end to it. Like that. Many occasions like that, yes. Another occasion was, again, I'd come back from the ship and I'd put on a lot of weight. And Baba said to me, what's going on? What is wrong with you? What are you doing? What do you eat on the ship? And I told him this, that. And then he gave me orders that I should not have butter, cream, and
Potato chips.
wafers. I think Western world calls them crispy
Potato chips?
potato chips.
Yeah.
Potato. And we also have in India what is known as straw potatoes. Same thing, but
Yeah.
like that. And he gave me orders that I should not have all that. By that time, I too had become a bit wiser about my beloved, and I kept my mouth shut. Because if I suggested that what about French fries, he might have said no. But on the ship, for lunch, dinner, we normally would get only French fries and green peas. Whatever is steamed stuff. No other vegetables would be there, like that. So, on the ship I used to eat French fries along with my lunch or dinner. But whenever I came to India, I would not eat it. And now, because I'm all the time in India, I have stopped eating that also. Like that, a few orders were there, and that was all. And with all that, his sense of humor would always be present. 1954 in Satara, Baba called me there. I came home on leave and he called me there and he told me, now you stay here for as long as I tell you. He made me stay there for 10-15 days. And remember those days, there was not a big crowd. Only the very intimate Manli would be there. And one morning, he said to me, I would always be sitting before my beloved with my head down because I was afraid to look at him. Because I knew that I am in the presence of one man who knows thoroughly well what bloody shit I am. So I would always look down. So he snapped his fingers, I looked at him, and he said to me, Sam, do you know me? And I said, of course, Baba, I know you. I did not know that he was, pulling my legs. And he says to Erech and others who are present there, see, you people have spent 30 and 40 years with me. You do not know me. And here is Sam, come from Pune 2 days back, he knows me. I said, not in that. His sense of humor. The same thing with Francis Brabazon. If you cannot repeat it for 7 times, how will I remember it when I come back after 700 years?
And what was the thing with the cigarette case that you used to bring?
Cigarette case.
Huh?
You used to bring a cigarette case for
For French, average 555.
Huh?
You used to bring from the ship.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I never brought cigarettes home. Only, I never. I used to bring from America. That time there were not many Americans coming to India. And beloved Baba loved Tide. Tide is that detergent soap. And because I was constantly both on the eastern and the western seaboard, I realized that buying anything down south is cheaper than buying it in New York or other places. Yeah.
True.
So I would always, somewhere in New Orleans or like that, I would buy that real big 15 or some, it's like a big, with a handle and all. And I remember I bought one like that, and from downtown I would come to the port area in a bus. And I was sitting here, and on the other side, the husband and wife were sitting. And they thought that this man doesn't understand English, and they were saying to each other, he must be running a laundry or something. Like that. But look at the beauty of it. I mean, what are we capable of doing for him? Nothing. But whenever I would be present, and the beloved Baba would be there in Mehrazad, he would regularly take a beautiful that type. And then he would do say, Sam brought it for me. So these were the items that I would bring. And once in a while, Baba lovers of that time would send some item, like beloved Baba's sister Mani had a 16 millimeter camera, movie camera. 16 millimeter or 8 millimeter, I do not know. So Murshida I would use and others would send films and other items like that, lipstick, ladies' perfumes and all. And I would carry all that too. Because in those days there were not many like that. So I was sort of a liaison between America and India. But I never brought cigarettes. No. One cigarette maker? I don't think anyone ever brought cigarettes for Baba.
Not for Baba, for others, for Eruch or something?
Eruch, yeah. Eruch might be up to.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Don't ever do that. Because these are the stories by great master, not by me.
I know. But
And on one occasion, I narrated a story of the Samadhi. And there was a big crowd, about 35 or so. And they began to clap. Right before the Lord and the Samadhi. And for a fraction of a second, and then better sense prevailed.
Yep.
And I told my beloved, please don't play tricks like that with me. I told you honestly, I'm an Enoch.
Yep.
So you won't believe it, he heard my prayers. And 4 days later, there was an altercation near the Samadhi. A trustee and one worker was involved. And they began to fight, and they became so angry, they began to use offensive language and all. And if people had not intervened, they would have come to blows also. So the matter went to the board of trustees, beloved Baba, and they passed a rule that from now on, no one must talk at the Samadhi, no storytelling, because Nanak Kher, the keeper of the Samadhi, from his time, he would always tell me, Sam, narrate one Sufi story. And it had become a routine, but then that rule came about, and till today, I never talk at the Samadhi. He had hurt me.
Well, thank you for sharing.
He is very, very particular. Once he grabs you,
Done.
finished. No.
Well, thank you.
On one occasion, night time, a banana was being given as a prasad. And at that time, my Roshan was in Pune. I was all alone here at Mehrabad. And I said to myself, wow, this banana will be good for me tomorrow breakfast. Now, I already had bananas in the house, but that thought came to me. And because such a thought should not have come, when I go to collect my prasad, that lady picks up the banana and that orange sweet. And then, for no rhyme or reason, she kept looking at me like that for quite some time. I said, what's wrong with this woman? Kept looking at me and then put the banana down and gave me that orange. I was fuming with it inside. I said, why did she do that to me? But when I was going down, I realized that this thought had come to my mind. That this banana will be good for breakfast. As if I could not buy a banana then. So he wanted to draw my attention that don't do such things. You know? After all, you are the slave of the Lord of the universe. Jai Baba.
Place your right palm on your heart.
Jai Baba. Sorry about the sound quality. It could not be helped. Roshan was nice and clear, but Sam, unfortunately, ये बेचारे सैम लोगों का नसीब ही ऐसा होता है। कोई बात नहीं। अभी हम we shall now do the prayers and aarti. And one thing I want to announce about, जो मैं पहले बोलने भूल गया था, मूर्ति प्लीज। अगले संडे को, नेक्स्ट संडे इज द क्विज डे, यानी कि बाबा के अपने जो बॉम्बे कनेक्शंस है उनके ऊपर देयर विल बी अ क्विज। इट विल बी ऑनलाइन एज वेल एज ऑफलाइन, यानी कि यहाँ से भी होगा और जो ऑनलाइन पे है उन लोग भी पार्टिसिपेट कर सकेंगे। सो प्लीज ट्राई एंड पार्टिसिपेट इन इट, बड़ी मजा आ जाएगी। अनदर इम्पोर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट इज कि हमारे सेंटर पे एक संडे पे हमेशा एक बाबा जी आते हैं जो कहते रहते हैं बाबा खुदाई जी, बाबा खुदाई जी। उनका आज, sorry, yesterday was his birthday. So after we finish our prayers and aarti, we will all get together and sing a very happy birthday for him. And अगर वो खुश हो गए तो हमको ताजमहल होटल में लेके जाएंगे। थैंक यू एंड जय बाबा। मेहर बाबा, 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 मेहर बाबा,
Har Baba, 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 Har Baba. O glorious eternal ancient one, your face is a bright transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart may here I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These firelights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you who are infinitely kind, break the wheel's hub which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, this fruit's my heart, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining heart. You are myself, I sing to you in praise and beg your love to bear me through the days. Till you, the ever living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun.
जावे नार जहलतनी के कर गुद रत्ने फरमा तू चलागी आश भक्तों ने की बख्शे नूरे तू आया तुझ नजरिए सर खुदाना जात दीवा के फतह बे तू मेहरबा तू छे तुझे दरी यार तत्मा रिफत नो ही तूफान तू हमोर राग बख्शे ज्ञान सदनो के तू परमात्मा ज्ञानी जने तारे साथ खुदा प्रेम पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सबके साकिया पी दे प्रेमा तू हमारी नारी ओ हमें करिए हमारा ना खुदा में बाबा ठहनी गे बातों हमारा ना खुदा में बाबा ठहनी गे बातों बुझावे नार जगतनी कर खुद राने फरमा चरागी आश भागों ने की बख्शे नूरे ईमान।
हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और ना तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों की सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से किसी भी चीज को नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो। तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे हो। तुम तीनों भवनों में हो और तीनों भवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनो और हृदय के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्पर परब्रह्म भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो और मज्द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य। हे हसीन दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित ना था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित ना था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, सब असत्य वचनों के लिए और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दम या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए, और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारे असमर्थता सदा रहती ही है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें। उससे हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए, और तो हम सबकी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Baba Khodai ji, can you come to the center stage? मतलब ताजमहल होटल में ले जाओ ना इसने तो